What's up, party people? Today we're looking at another Dekaron update. Sacred Claw solo mode. Yes, there's now a solo version of the Sacred Claw dungeon, as well as a way to farm the tier 6 Spooklet. So make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any upcoming content. Let's get this party started. Okay, guys, let's just delve right into this update. So, basically, there is now a solo mode version of Sacred Claw, which is kind of cool, actually. I always found it very frustrating to do the dungeon on its own, because if you're trying to get to the last two bosses, you need to log a second account to pull the two levers at the same time, which was possible, or you could get a friend, but let's be honest, guys, there aren't a lot of people playing this game, so it's kind of hard to do that. But basically, there is now a solo dungeon version of the game, or of this solo dungeon version of this dungeon. I'm like stumbling over my words here. But the only thing that, well, one thing that I find kind of frustrating about this is you can only do it once a day, which is kind of a bummer. And if you want to do it more than once a day, then super passes. They're trying to sell these dumb super passes again. And it's like, come on, why can't you just do camouflage? Because then you can farm camouflage, and then you could still do it multiple times a day, and you don't have to pay money to do it, but they've got to find a way. I mean, you could already buy the purposes in the D shop, basically, you know, with the random 3-day thing. So it's like, what's the harm in just letting us farm the solo dungeon, like, multiple times a day? Like, you know, like 3 or 4 times, like a normal, you know, solo dungeon, but I don't know. They've always got to be greedy in some way. They've got to be greedy in some way. I mean, I guess they have to rationalize doing any update, right? They're like, okay, if we're going to spend time working on this update, you know, how much money are we going to make off of it? And it's funny because they don't think about long-term money. They don't think about, like, you know, bringing joy to their players that would then make the players want to spend money on the game. No, instead it's just like, how can we get them to spend money right now? Anyway, rant over. So, Solo Dungeon, it drops pretty much everything. You can get Crept Essence, Sal Crystalline, Dragon Claw, Dragon Tongue, and it does have a chance to drop the Dragon Horn at the end of it too, which is really nice because that's really hard to get from the optional fight in the party dungeon. Now, one thing I will say here is that it talks about how the Dragon Tongues have a guaranteed drop rate for the first and the last boss. This is not correct. I ran the dungeon the first time and I didn't get any Dragon Tongues, so I thought, like, oh my god, this is a waste of time, and I didn't think they were dropping at all, and I guess it's bugged and it's not doing it properly. However, I ran it again today, and I actually got 2 Dragon Tongues from the first boss and the second boss, not the third boss. So, Dragon Tongues do drop, it's just they're not dropping how they're supposed to, and hopefully this gets patched sometime soon. But yeah, the dungeon's pretty cool. It's basically just a dumbed down version of the party dungeon. When you go in, you're going to have a 50% chance to fight either Conjurer Edward or Lad Chief Verida, or you can use super passes to select the one that you want to fight if you're trying to get those specific items. You know, either the Sap Crystalline or the Magic Crystal. However, I'll say it's probably easier to farm those two pieces just doing Crespo hard mode, but, you know, this just makes it more realistic for people. Now you can just do this once a day and you'll get closer and closer to your Perfectus, which I think is really nice. I think it should be easier to get the Perfectus. Yeah, so overall, no complaints about the solo dungeon, other than I hope they get the drop rate fixed, because right now they said that the dragon, the Dragon Tongues are supposed to be dropping from the first and the third boss, and they are not, so hopefully that gets fixed. And it is an easier version of the other dungeon. Like, all the bosses are kind of like easier versions from the party dungeon, so that's nice. And they don't seem to do any of their mechanics, or at least maybe I'm killing them too fast and I haven't seen it, but I don't think that they do any of their mechanics, so that's cool. There's a new attendance event, and it's kind of cool. We got this new format for the attendance events. They already had this in Dekaron Asia, so I was wondering when we were going to be getting it here, and we have it now, which is kind of cool. Overall, the rewards for this are, I don't know, I mean, they're okay. Honestly, the last couple rewards kind of make up for how bad the rewards are, but basically you just complete the tasks and you get the item. So the Roast Turkey random box is kind of cool, just for the fact that you do have a potential chance to get an Immortality Jade Bracelet, and anytime there's a chance for more of those to be in the game, I think it's great, although I do see here now that it's not tradable, so that's actually kind of lame. But, you know, it's something. That's something to look forward to if you get lucky. XP scroll is nice. Crust Lucky Box. This Crust Lucky Box was kind of bad, if I remember. Movement speed 20 is okay. 6%, I guess, for that is okay. it's just a bunch of okay stuff. Generally the crests aren't very good. 1,100% scroll, that's nice. 500% one day, that's nice. 1,400% scroll, that's nice. 7-day treasure hunter rune is pretty good. Generally the XP scrolls are pretty good here. 7-day holy water, that's very generous. That's nice. I'll probably get that and maybe use that to do some, exchange some seeds and do some AFK farming in Arcadia or something like that. There's a 35% blacksmith glory. I wish that was a grace, but I mean it's fair. And then the 15-day shiny Rudolph rune is kind of cool. We haven't seen the Rudolph runes in a while, and they do give really good stats. So 15 days for that is very generous. And then the last thing that I think is really cool is this new type winter costume exchange box. I think the new winter costume, or the winter costumes, look kind of cool. It basically just makes it look like you have an Olympia set on, and it's a free crest costume. So I think that's cool. I like this format for, like attendance rewards. If any of you play Elder Scrolls Online, they do something very similar to this, where it's like daily rewards you get. And in general, the rewards, like, leading up into the end aren't that good, but then the last couple rewards are really good. So it motivates you to log in every day and do those. And this is kind of the same way. It's like, kind of meh. But hey, holy water. Hey, glory, 15-day rune, free costume. Like, that's actually really good. So I'm actually very happy with the attendance rewards. I think it's way better than the other system, and I hope it stays this way. So, very cool. Get spooked, so you can finally get the Halloween Spooklet. However, I'm going to say right now that I am super annoyed in the way that this was done. Basically, in order to get the Spooklet, you have to have the tier 5 in your inventory, and then you can take a quest from Karen. It's called, like, I don't know, I'll put it up on the screen here, but you take the quest, and you have to kill the final boss for Ice Castle. Now, I saw this, and I was immediately like, oh, this is annoying, because I have to get on at a specific time, and as I'm sure a lot of you other working people know, getting on at specific times can sometimes be challenging, right? Because you're juggling, working, and making dinner, and, doing all kinds of various other things. Editing Dekaron videos, whatever it is you do. So I was pretty annoyed with this. So I went ahead, I joined a party, I ran Ice Castle, and I found out the hard way that only one party can actually complete the quest, because only one party can get, or only one person in the party can get the last hit on this guy, Kark, or whatever his name is. So the first time I ran this, I wasted 2 hours. I got there, I waited, I ran it, whatever, or maybe an hour, maybe not 2 hours. Because we ran it and someone came in and got the last hit and none of us got the quest complete, which was really lame. So then I had to come back 7 hours later when the next one was, because of where the time lined up for 6 hours. And I did finally complete the quest, and I was able to turn in my quest and upgrade my Spooklet, which is great. However, I really wish that, well, I have mixed feelings, because I would have preferred if it was just candy, but at the same time, the candy is so uninteractive. Like, you just have AFK characters farming the candy. I mean, that's all I did to get the candy. I just ran battle support. So this actually got me in-game, and it got me to run a dungeon. So, whoever did this, you got me. You actually got me to play and not just AFK. So, I guess that's something. But yeah, get your tier 6 Spooklet, guys. It gives really good stats. 15% attack, 15% damage res, 5% all attack, 20% XP, 12% crit damage, 6% crit rate, and item drop rate. And as I was informed, you can actually stack Spooklets. So if you got multiple of these, you can stack them, and that can actually be pretty nice. I didn't take the time to do that, but I'm sure other people did. But yeah, so last up, we just have some D-Shop stuff. They see me scrolling, they hatin'. That's actually kind of a funny name there. They added the scrolls back to the D-Shop, which, this is really silly to me. It doesn't make any sense, because they add, and I mean, not that I buy these anyway, but they add the scroll box back in after they have the 500%, 600%, and 700% experience event. Like, I'm sorry, but these would have sold like hotcakes probably during the actual XP event. So it's very silly to me that they waited until afterwards, and I bet their sales on this are actually going to be a lot lower because of that, but I don't buy these anyway, so whatever. They added a rune, looks like a rune random box or something, offering 7 potent runes, lasting for 7 days. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care that much. Just the stats of those. One interesting thing they did is they added Fallen Duex Marble to the gold treasure box. And this is the best defensive pet in the game, it gives 5% PvP damage tolerance and 5% DDR. I mean, it's very strong. It's a very good defensive pet, especially for PvP. It's cool that it's there. If it's fairly common, I mean, maybe we'll see some of them selling in game. But it's been, I don't know, like 5 days since this update, I think. Wow, it took me a long time to make this video, and I haven't seen anyone selling any, so it must be pretty rare. But hopefully, we'll see some of those floating around in game. And then random bug fix. Unique pets will now display their options, which is actually really nice. Now when you hover over the pet, you can see exactly where or exactly what the pet gives. So that's really nice. Yeah, overall, guys, pretty decent update. For me, the biggest disappointment is just that the Sacred Claw thing isn't working how it's supposed to, but hopefully they'll fix that and we'll get things rolling. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or suggestions, as always, you can leave them in the comments. And until next time, take care.